Hey guys, Engineer Wannabe here with all my good friends on the panel here, and of course you guys in the chat. Wouldn't be the same without you all. So thanks for joining us this Saturday evening, 9 p.m. It's gonna be a fun one tonight. Fun for me at least. I hope you guys enjoy it too. But yeah, good to see you guys, Keith, Clayton, Sam, and Toran. How are you doing, Keith?
I'm good. Had a big day with the extended family.
Yeah.
First time we all got together since Christmas of 2019.
Oh yeah.
So it's a long day. Hopefully, I'm not low energy.
Yeah.
I'm still feeling good. So
Yeah, I'll recommend to you my drink. We were talking about this, but in my golden chalice here, I have iced coffee or a cold brew and lemonade. I don't know if any of you guys in the chat have had that before, but first time trying it, it's actually kind of good. But yeah, Clayton, how are you doing?
Doing well. Had a great day. Met our fellow pal Penny in person for the first time.
Yeah,
We did a little watch shopping, grabbed some lunch. It was great to meet her and her wife and her dogs. So yeah, just an awesome day. It was really great.
yeah, that's great. Good to hear. And how about you, Torin?
Oh, not too bad. I had dental surgery earlier this week, so I'm kind of recovering.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's just for an extraction, and they're putting an implant in, but it's
oh
a
wow.
three-pronged process.
Oh yeah. So what prong are you on right now?
They put a bone graft in after they took my tooth out in March, and earlier this week they put that like post in. They screw it into the bone.
Wow.
So now I just have to wait for that to heal up for a few months, and then I'll actually get the replacement implant.
Wow, that
Yikes.
man. Yeah, man. I hope you get through it.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been a bit of a slower week for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
You said that very calm though. I would probably not be so calm.
yeah. Oh man.
It's a subtle rage that just bubbles under the surface.
And Sam, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Just got my first dose of the Pfizer vaccine,
Oh,
so
nice.
got that
Very
Excellent.
good.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. It was just a slightly sore arm, but apart from that, it's been fine. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And it's good to see you too. It's been a
yeah,
while.
definitely, yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah, I neglected to ask you guys your wrist shots. So or what's on your wrist. So let's start with
I can go
Kevin
through it
again.
fast. Laurier Neptune.
Cool.
Guilt.
Mm.
And Clayton?
Figured there'd be a little Grand Seiko love tonight, so the SBGP 015.
Nice.
Very good.
Nice.
Oh, I
Matching
need
your Superman colors, Torn.
Yeah. Torin, how about you?
Yeah, you guys called it. It's gonna be the Superman.
Yeah.
I was guessing Doxa.
Okay, I'm gonna guess Sam has his
Yeah, I
SPGM
heard.
221.
Yes, 221. I knew it was
Wow,
kind of a
four.
Grand Seiko day, so
Oh
Yeah.
no. I'm not in the
yeah.
club. Maybe soon.
Yeah, I'm wearing a Grand Seiko too. I'm wearing the White Birch SPG SLGH 005.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I haven't taken it off my wrist since Monday. Well, I have um, to go to bed, but it's been on my wrists ever since. Since I got it last Monday. Um, but yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Just gonna drop in the chat and say hi to everyone. Bill K came in first. Hey Bill. Hey Bruce, how's it going? Happy belated birthday, by the way, Bruce. Nefarian is here as well. Good to see you, sir. Chaz, how's it going? Hope you got home safe and at a good time. Peter, how's it going? Clayton, the other Clayton, the not watchdog Clayton. uh, hey man, how's it going, Kentucky man? Good to see you. Ken, good to see you as well. Justin's here, and Kevin, how's it going, Kevin? Um, chat jumped as it always does. So we got Dan here. How's it going, Dan? Meznine. Marcus is here. Hey, Marcus. Marcus had a new pickup too. I don't know if you guys know, but I already said hi to Justin. Let's see. MJ's here. Coffee, Coke is way better than I thought it would be. Coffee and Coke. Okay. I have Coca-Cola in the fridge. I should try that out.
Well, we know what you're drinking for Watch Soup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're probably right. Yeah, Meznine. You did hear that right. Iced coffee and lemonade. I did find a way to Sanjay coffee. Hey, Desk Diver, good to see you. Canadian Arnold Palmer. Palmer? Isn't Arnold Palmer the tea and lemonade?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's okay. I think I got everyone. Marcus with the announcement, he's wearing the Speedy. So I sold the Speedy to my AD, and Marcus swooped right in and picked it right up.
Wow.
Wow.
It was pretty funny. Oh, thanks, Bobby. Good to see you, and thank you for that. Loving memory of Speedmaster times 2, times 3. I've had 3 Speedmasters. Ken Spear is wearing the Powermatic 80. Wow, PRX. Cool. Wabin, good to see you, sir. And Vinny, good to see you as well. Okay. Murat is here as well. Good to see you. Chaz. Marcus is starting a speedy rescue program. Yep. All right. Apparently. Okay, let's get going.
There's one more super chat. I don't know if you got it.
Oh, did I miss it? Oh, I did miss it. Oh, thanks, Marcus. That's really kind to make up for the bath you took on the Speedy. Yeah. Took a bath on the Railmaster when I got the Speedy. But anyway, yeah, let's maybe I'll quickly talk about that, and then we can move on to chatting about other things. But yeah, so I got the White Birch, which was unexpected because last Sunday on Watch Soup, I was gonna say I'm gonna pick up a Blue Dial watch, and I was gonna maybe trade the Seiko diver that I have, SPB 213. But I had finished the review on the Speedmaster. Just after I finish a review. That watch is generally in great risk for a short through that, it'll probably survive. But yeah, I had just finished the review of the Speedmaster earlier that day, so I thought I'd take it with me just in case, or I'd take the box with me. I was wearing it that day. So went over there. I took another watch too, so I did trade 2 watches in, but I took the two-tone Grand Seiko, so the SBGV 238. The one I really like that one too. That's
Oh no.
clear case back. So went over there, and I was looking at all sorts of different pieces, mostly blue dials, which is what I was mainly interested in. And I saw the White Birch again, and this time the White Birch really sang. Like when I saw it, it just pulled me in, and I was thinking, you know what, I'm gonna try making an offer, and I did. So I was gonna even trade the White Birch and the Grand Seiko, and then work towards a different watch, Blue Dial watch for next month, rather than spending any money right now. So, yeah. So the basically the SBGV 238 and the Grand, sorry, not the Grand Seiko, the Omega Speedmaster, went towards the White Birch, and yeah, so next month I'm hoping to get the SBGX 349. I don't know if you guys have seen this one. It's a 9F quartz because I want the trilogy of movements from Grand Seiko. It's an interesting one. It's 34 millimeters, and it was just announced. I think earlier this week or mid last week. So 34 millimeters. It's got a wider stance, so I feel like this will wear bigger than 34. And I think this would be a really cool blue dial to add to the more permanent GS collection. So I was okay with letting go the SBGB 238. But yeah, so that's what happened. So right now I have a bit set aside going to the SBGX 349 whenever it comes. um, so Planet Ocean's still with me. White Birch is now with me. My favorite watch, the SBGY, is still with me. And I'm really happy with those three. And of course the Seiko Alpinist, the SJE 085. So I feel like those four are really locked in. I'm not going to call them keepers. The SBGY is a keeper, but I feel like those four are just really tight with each other. They're very close knit, and we don't want to split them apart. So yeah, that's basically the story. I got rid of the Speedy. It was hard, but I really like Grand Seiko, and I really like the White Birch more than I love the Speedy. So I felt like I was able to let the Speedy go. I don't regret it even now. So it's still a honeymoon stage. So we'll see how I feel in a few weeks. But as of right now, I'm super happy with the White Birch, and yeah, I'm okay with letting the Speedy go. Also, keeping in the back of my mind that it's a Speedy, it'll always be there, always be there.
Yeah.
So I can always pick one up.
So with the White Birch, how do you feel? You said you're enjoying it so far. Any things of note? Anything that stands out to you with it? That
Yeah. So the bracelet was my sticking point before. When I had this slight car accident, the White Birch was really offensive to my eye. So I was probably not in the best state of mind. So because of that, I just completely wrote off the White Birch for about 2 to 3 months, and then it started to grow back to how I really liked it when I first saw it. So I really like this bracelet. It's super solid. One thing I was really pleasantly surprised with was the fact that this Grand Seiko bracelet has no gap. So it's flush with the surface. Every other Grand Seiko bracelet has a little gap here. So that I found that to be of note and quite interesting. The movement. Funny thing, the next day I was chatting with Amin, and he asked me how's the accuracy on that watch because he had heard that a few people have had really inaccurate White Birch or with this movement. I guess I didn't show you guys the back. This is like the star. the Can't get it. There we go. That movement is
Yeah.
insanely beautiful. I'm super happy with that. But yeah, so the accuracy shocked me because the next day it was a day since I set the time, wound it up and put it on my wrist, and it was 12 seconds fast. So one day, 24 hours later, it was 12 seconds fast, and I was like, oh boy, that's not good because it's supposed to be -3 +5, regulated to 6 positions, if I'm not mistaken. But it was running way too fast. I was okay with it. I'm not too fussy about accuracy, but it does bug me when it's outside of spec, which it was. But yeah, as the days went on, though, it slowed down. So now I think it's sitting at +6, which is still off off the spec or the tolerance that they set, but I'm perfectly fine with +6. But that was definitely very interesting that Amin actually asked me about the accuracy, and it was a concern at the beginning, but it's great now. So yeah, I'm okay with that.
Hmm.
Yeah, other than that, I think the dial is mesmerizing. Like you'll see it in the showroom, like at the AD, and it's not going to do it justice, because this, like, when you get into lower light conditions, this thing glows. Like, it picks up all the light. You think like these indices will do that, right? Which it does, and then the dial picks up the light around the room and points it into your eyes, so it
Hmm.
looks like it's illuminating itself. I think you can kind of see that here too. um it's just very bright. It's a silver dial. It's not even close to white. It's very silver, but it just looks like it's glowing. And yeah, so I'm over the moon with it. It's more than what I could have asked for. um I know Toran was looking to get one too, and I was on eggshells, because I was like, oh, Toran wants one, and
I
what if
do.
I
I'm just
made
gonna
it.
wait till you get bored of yours
Yeah, exactly.
and then like move in.
Yeah,
But like,
well,
if I can
Marcus.
interject, like I have a very similar story picking up the Superman because
Yes, of course. No, I was going to ask you about that. Before we get to that, though, maybe we can check in the chat, unless if you guys want to comment on anything that I mentioned. Um, yeah, okay. So let's jump in the chat real quick. Justin is here. Good to see you, Justin. Um, let's see. Uh, Trickle says, I could never wear 34 millimeters. I tried with a vintage before. I just couldn't get used to it. I kind of get what you mean. I mean, I have right now in that watch box over there 34 millimeter Seiko Presages, and I'm okay with that. I have a 6.25 inch wrist. I like how those Presages wear. They're a little small, but I've with the 36 mil King Seiko vintage King Seiko that I had, that was very uh commanding. Like, the presence of that King Seiko was very commanding. So at 36 millimeters, it was almost like the limit of what I could wear in that case design. And this SBGX that we have here is very, very close to that case design on that King Seiko. It's not exactly the same. There's more curvature to it, but maybe Clayton, who saw the King Seiko reissue today, could comment. It kind of looks like it, right, Clayton?
Yeah, it does. I think with those lugs, the way just their shape, I think it'll wear nice even despite its 34 millimeter size. Absolutely looks like that.
Yeah,
Yep. I
yeah.
sent you a
So I'm
picture earlier. I don't know if you can bring that up.
yes, yeah. Um, I I'm hopeful that it will wear really well. So
Did they
that's the
say what the
plan.
lug to lug is on that?
They don't. They
Okay.
might actually. I'd have to look it up on the. Let me bring up this
What's the name
picture.
of it again?
It's the SBGX 349. The 347 is one of those as well. So this is the King Seiko that Clayton saw today.
It was wrapped in plastic. I didn't want to undo it, so it's not super clear, but
Yeah. So, and I had the vintage version of this, which I gave away in that whole car accident debacle, um, which really sucks. I shouldn't have done that with that King Seiko. I miss it, but yeah. Anyway, spilt milk and all that, uh, MD Chaz, I sold the night enough. How do you set your other watches? I actually use time.is to set my watches. I know that wasn't a serious question, but Xiao, hey, good to see you, sir. White Birch is a real keeper. I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, Jay. Vinny, funny observation. 3 headsets, 3 pairs of glasses, 3 beards. Hey, look at
wow.
that.
Got it all
And
covered.
4 Grand Seikos.
Sorry, guys.
Uh, Marcus says that's a crazy movement. Best looking GS outside of the micro artist studio pieces. Yeah, for sure. The chopped off hour hand is another thing. I know Marcus doesn't like the I feel he doesn't like it. I feel like I've heard him say that, but um, it's really not that prominent when you're looking at it. When you see macro shots of it, it looks kind of like it's cut off a good chunk of the hour hand. But if you're actually looking at the watch, you really don't notice that hour hand being cut off at the tip. I'm not sure why they did that though. It would have been so much better if they didn't. My autofocus is now not working. Oh, there we go. I'm sure you guys can see like that stubby hour hand. But yeah, it's not that bad. AZ Clayton, wait 2 months if you want a White Birch. Hey, Benny's here. Good to see you. Thank you.
Hey, Penny.
+5 spec is stationary. I believe the spec is +8 worn. Okay. I did not know that.
That's true.
Yeah. Steve, good to see you. Orient Kamasu versus Omega Seamaster. Which one should I buy? Whoa, okay. That's quite a jump. Not sure I could answer that for you, sir. Hey, if money is no object, Seamaster, hands down.
Yep.
Sorry, chat jumped. Okay. Marcus says, I'm waiting for when Sanjay does his full White Birch review. That's when I'll start talking with him. Kevin, yeah, you're absolutely right. 36 is very different from 34. But because that 36 was so commanding on my wrist, I feel like a 34 would look normal in that case shape, you know? By normal, I mean classy. Let's go with that. Watch talk. Hey, good to see you. Topic for another stream. Would Sanjay flip his watches as often as he does if he was not a YouTube content creator? We've answered that. I wouldn't, but I feel like I've come back to baseline if I wasn't a YouTube creator because I'm kind of satisfied right now. I mean, I had the Speedy for 4 months. You guys got to remember that's crazy, right? 4 months. Kevin is asking for thoughts on the King Seiko from Clayton.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. I was not super interested in it when it first came out. I was actually still more attracted to the the vintage models, but now it's really nice watch. The strap is quite nice too. It's comfy on wrist. I did not take the plastic off of the watch just because I didn't want to mess it up because putting it back on it would just not look right.
Yeah.
With my wrapping skills. But that was it's a beautiful watch. It's stunning in person for sure.
Yeah. Have any of the other guys seen the King Seiko in person? No.
Yeah, I've seen the King Seiko. It's
Yeah.
I agree with Clayton. Yeah, it is a stunning watch, really.
Yeah.
Yep. I tried to
Bruno.
seduce Sanjay into me buying it for him and shipping it to him since they are hard to find in Canada, but he wouldn't bite.
Yeah. Well, I think my AT has one. I think he may be holding it for someone to see, but I think they're slowly getting stock. So it's trickle released. So Steve is here too. Good to see you, sir. Dan likes the stubby hand. Yeah, I know Dan was on me to get the White Birch like months ago. I think I got the White Birch instead. I got the SBGV instead of the White Birch. Way back, which is like 6 months ago. But Kevin says the truncated R hand suits the watch styling, matches the markers and the bracelet style. Yeah, I think you're right. Another person in the comments said that the bracelet of the White Birch has the appearance of an integrated bracelet look, and I kind of get that now, because it's so wide and it comes down really squat and tapers only very slightly, so it has like that it has like the spiritual successor of an integrated bracelet kind of look, I guess. All right, so Toran, let's talk about your experience getting the Grand Seiko Superman SBG H281.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
the 281.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny because I think like the longer I hang out with you, the more I become like you, like we're kindred spirits, because I picked up the Superman almost on the same day, making a similar trade. So I actually traded out my Speedmaster, which I purchased with you.
Yeah.
But my Speedy was it wasn't the 3861, it was the 1861 Hesalite. So it wasn't, the latest version. But I was actually thinking I could trade up towards the White Birch when we were supposed to meet at your authorized dealer, but then you had to go into work last week.
Yeah.
So that kind of fell through. So instead, I thought I would just try and post my Speedy on some of the forums, the Canadian forums, just to see if there's any interest to sell or maybe trade up to another Grand Seiko as well. And I ended up hooking up with another watch enthusiast who lives close to you, Sanjay, and he had this watch. I think he's the original owner. It was in pretty good condition, but it was almost an even trade as well. I mean, I did throw a little bit of cash on top of the Speedy to pick up the Grand Seiko Superman, but it was just funny how it worked out because I mentioned to you like, oh, I traded up my Speedy to get a Grand Seiko, and then when you got the White Birch, I had an instinct that like, okay, you definitely swapped away your Speedmaster in that trade. So.
Yeah. No, I didn't actually know I was getting the White Birch until I was at the AD. So
Right.
yeah, if we had like this could have been a completely different story if I didn't have to go into work last Saturday and we actually did meet up. You would have this very
Yeah,
well.
it would be flipped. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. And I probably would have bought that blue watch that I wanted. Not sure which one it would have been. I was looking at the Constellation too, the 41 millimeter with the blue bezel, Manhattan style with the griffin claws. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Omega Constellation. It's got Roman numerals on the ceramic bezel. I'm making it sound really bad, but it's actually a nice watch. So I was looking at that piece, but yeah, Superman. If I had known, that would have been a really nice blue watch to have in the collection too. So
Well, maybe we can make something happen.
yeah,
Yeah. How do you feel about the 9? You seem to be the expert, right? So, like, how do you feel about the 44 GS case on this guy?
I like the 44 GS case. I think it's my favorite GS case design. So more than the 62 GS. The 62 GS is really close. 44 GS is probably my favorite.
I like everything but the lug opening of 19 millimeters.
Yeah,
I
don't
prefer
mind
it's
it.
20.
Yeah. Since I have so many 19 millimeter straps.
Yeah, I was going to ask for your recommendation on maybe like what strap to get potentially. I mean, the bracelet here is fine. I actually find the bracelet's pretty much the same as the SBG and 003, except the mid links are a little shorter and polished.
Yeah. Grand Seiko bracelets are pretty much parts bin. Like they have the same bracelet, and it seems like they just flip the end link off and put a different end link on. But
more or less.
Yeah. Except for like the Oyster style with the fully brushed 3-link. They have the 3-link and then they have the Speedmaster style 5-link. But strap wise, I mean, if you're looking affordable, you've already had Strapsco, right? They do 19 mil, quite a few 19 mil options.
I was thinking, like, how do you think you've had like a Hirsch Performance strap? It's more sporty. Do you think it would look good on a Grand Seiko?
Oh yeah, for sure.
If they make a 19 mil one?
Yeah, I don't know if they have a 19.
I don't know either.
I don't think they do. It's been a while since I've looked on their website.
I throw a
Um,
Hirsch Carbon on this thing, the red one, and it's awesome. But this is a
yeah,
sportier, obviously a sportier watch, but still, I think it would work on yours too.
That's good
yeah,
to know.
Yeah, they're
and
great.
and I consider these watches sporty. I know like the lugs are super polished, but to me the 44 GS is a very sporty, aggressive case. Uh,
Hmm.
and I just realized that you, Clayton, and Toran, you both have the 60th anniversary, like two different 60th anniversary
Yeah,
watches.
he's got the 9F and I got the 9S.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's crazy. If I had the SLGH 003, this would have been a 60th anniversary panel.
Torin, were there
Uh,
any runners up? Like, were you close to getting a different watch, or was that the main focus, the one that you picked up?
Over this.
Yeah.
I'm actually, well, like Sanjay too. I'm kind of lusting after a 9F quartz watch. I'm really hoping if I couldn't get the White Birch, I really want to get the SBGX 341. It
Oh.
is the no date white dial 9F quartz watch that's like anti-magnetic. I don't know,
Yeah.
Sanjay, if you can pull it up, but like
That's a
that
cool
watch is
watch.
that's a gorgeous watch.
Amazing watch.
SBGX 341.
Yeah,
Um,
three.
all
It might be
actually,
Japan only. I don't know, Sanjay. Would your authorized dealer have that watch? I've never seen it in a display case.
it's it's like in Japan, so Asia, and I feel like it's US boutique only.
Hmm.
It's in Australia. I believe
Okay.
it's just a boutique exclusive.
Yeah,
So if you go to your
but you can kind of
boutiques, they
see
should have
it's
one.
it's almost like a White Birch esque. You know.
Yeah, it's really nice. I like the black one too. That Paul actually has this black one here.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's such a cool case design. Oh man, all the facets and uh,
One of the
kind of
guys in Random Rob's Discord has that watch, and he had it on the chopping block for a while, and nobody bid on it. And I think he's keeping it now. But I was tempted.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
send me
beauty.
his contact info.
I will. If he ever puts it on there again, I'll let you know for sure.
Sweet.
Yeah. MD Chaz mentioning the lugs, which yes, they are who I would almost always recommend,
Hmm.
along with Aaron from Combat Straps.
All right. Yeah.
So yeah, quite a few options. It's just kind of expensive when you get to Deluxe and Aaron. Um, let's see. Bruno is saying I saw a few Grand Seikos when I was watch stopping in Colorado. Very impressed by them. Yeah. Uh, it's yeah. I'm impressed every day. uh, Kevin agreeing that 44 GS is really a thing of beauty. MD Chaz agreeing too. Nefarian knows the constellation. I'll actually pull that one up. A really interesting watch.
Does that have
Uh,
like Tudor Royal vibes? Am I thinking of? Does it kind of look like
yeah.
the? Yeah.
Um,
Or am I thinking of something else?
no, you've got it because it's the integrated bracelet
Mm.
Yeah.
look. So this was the specific one I was looking at. Um, not a great picture, but it it's really sharp. Like it looks really good. Very comfortable on the wrist. Um,
What's
very
that
nice
bezel made of?
ceramic.
A ceramic.
Yeah, and it's got this. Like if you look at the side profile of this watch, that polished part there, it looked like clamps holding down the bezel. So they're
Is
called
that the
griffin claws.
manual wind caliber?
I'm sorry.
Is that the manual wind caliber?
I'm not sure actually. I thought it was the automatic. The Omega Tresor has a manual wound
Yep.
one. No, this one has a 8900. I'm pretty sure the 8900 is automatic. Let me double check that. Uh, Yeah, yeah. I've got automatic here, so yeah. Uh, Catlin's here. Wow, good to see you, Catlin. Thanks for joining us. Um,
Yeah, very cool. I'm a big fan of that podcast.
yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Ditto.
Guys, check out 10 and 2. I don't even know why I should say that, but who doesn't know 10
Of
and 2?
course.
uh, yeah, AZ Clayton saying Deluxe makes some very nice traps. I have had a few on my Grand Seikos. Yep. John, good to see you. What's the best Grand Seiko movement in your opinion? 9 of quartz, high beat, or spring drive? Got to be spring drive. I'd say manual and spring drive. The 9R31. I mean, you could go the really high end 9R02, which is on the Cradors and the Micro Artist Studio Grand Seikos. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys agree? I mean, spring drive is a massive technological leap, right? Combining quartz accuracy with mechanical um, internals.
Plus, you get that beautiful sweep.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful.
I'm not sure who you mean, Dan. Okay, so yeah, if you guys want to move on to what's next, I was gonna touch on the oddly satisfying things on watches once more because there was only Keith and myself last week, and I was wondering if you guys had anything to add. I have a couple more that I can add, um, but Clayton, I'll throw you under the bus. Is there something that you find really satisfying about a watch or watches in general that you could share with us?
The spring drive on the Grand Seiko Soko is had one thing I find really satisfying and one thing that I found kind of disappointing, and that was the smooth sweep of the seconds hand obviously is mesmerizing on the spring drive, but one of the other things I really value in a watch is just smooth crown action, and winding the spring drive it's not super satisfying. I
No.
actually found it kind of clunky and sort of like I broke it.
Yeah.
Kind of felt like that. So those are really a couple of things I really value, along with bezel action, obviously. But yeah, just like on the Submariner, I mean, it's just so buttery smooth. Operating the crown, whether it be winding or just pulling it out to set the time, and on the spring drive, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We kind of touched on that. How spring drive, when you try to wind it, it's like you're forcing a rotation on a motor that
Yes.
you're always told not to do. Um, but when you're doing that, so you really don't want to. You feel like you shouldn't be winding a spring drive, but you should be allowing it to wind naturally because it's so unpleasant. It screeches at you.
That first
um,
pop when you're unscrewing the crown, it's like, whoa, it just
yeah.
didn't feel right. I was like, oh God, did I break it?
That actually reminds me of something about this the White Birch. Winding action is really nice, but I'm gonna go full screen for this thing. I was disappointed about this actually. So if you guys can see, I know some of the heritage models have this as well, but there's no crown tube. I mean, there is a crown tube,
Hmm.
but you can see the thread. One thing I really love about the snowflake is that there's a tube concealing the thread of the screw down crown. Here you can the thread is exposed, which everyone does, and it's just totally normal. Tudor with the Black Bay doesn't because there's a crown tube there too. Um, but I was so sad that they didn't go the extra mile with this one. It felt like a cost cutting measure. But I know with some of the heritage pieces they don't do it either. Like with the 44 GS case, Toran, you'd probably see the threading too on that. But one thing I
Yeah, I
really
think so.
appreciated, one thing I really appreciated about the snowflake was the fact that it concealed the threads, and it was such a massive attention to detail that I really like that. But didn't do it here. Oh well. Um, yeah, Sam, do you have anything that you could add about something that is
Yeah,
oddly satisfying?
I think yeah, very recently I've been very satisfied with I don't know how to put it, but very um, well painted Breguet numerals, for example. So
Oh yeah,
when you look at the Tank American from VC or yeah, just the Breguet numerals, even with Longines, they do it. And when you go into macro, when you can actually see the deep glossy paint on it, yeah, it's just very very satisfying. So I guess really big numerals is something I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with, even with something like the what is it, the Zenith Type 20 Pilot. Oh man, I really like those numerals. I
yeah,
have a thing. I'm a sucker for those. So
yeah. Those are the big
yeah,
fat numerals, right?
yep,
Yeah.
big
Okay.
fat numerals.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Yeah,
Not to my taste. I'm more of a Roman numerals kind of guy, but I can appreciate how impressive those numerals are.
yeah.
And yeah, those. I mean, can you imagine filling those numerals up with loom, which is what they do? How bright that would be. That's
Zenith
that's
Type
really
20.
nice. It's good stuff. Great choice, Sam. Marcus was donating $5 towards Clayton's beer maintenance fund.
Oh, hey,
Um,
thanks.
it's
Impressive beard, I
I
must
did
say.
put a little bit in it to tone it down tonight. Gets a little, but this is my winter dog running protection plan.
Oh
It's
yeah.
starting a little early. Usually it's like September to March. I started in July, so there may be a trim before winter starts in earnest here, but I might just let it go.
yeah.
The dogs don't care what I look like, so
It is. I've heard. I've never grown a beard, but I've heard it is significantly warmer in the winter when you do have a
oh
beard. Like
yeah, you can feel that cold winter wind. It's a barrier for sure. It's nice.
yeah.
It's so gray though. Every year it comes in more and more gray. So that's I don't know. I'm less incentive to want to grow one, but oh well.
No shame in having gray hair.
I say embrace the gray.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You'll look extinguished.
Yeah.
Extinguished. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you ran a marathon. That's more than what I can do, or half
Yeah.
marathon
Well,
last
me.
week, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, good stuff on that too.
I was
Uh,
running with a guy who was almost 20 years younger than me, and he was having trouble keeping up. So even though I have
yeah,
gray hair, that made me feel a little bit better.
yeah, for sure. Catlin was talking about thoughts, or asking about thoughts on the idea that spring drive sweep is too smooth. I've had a few friends get rid of theirs because they thought it seemed too fake.
Hmm.
Uh,
It,
I, I,
it does kind of look fake, but I don't know. Once you get over that, it's really just kind of, I don't know, oddly soothing to just kind of stare at. Maybe I'm being too corny or something, but
no, it is really calming. I agree.
yeah.
Um, one
I always thought it was cool
analogy.
because you couldn't fake it. Like you know how there's like fake Rolexes out there, right? I don't think there was going to be people faking a spring drive.
No, unless if they get one of those quartz movements that have a constantly turning
Right. Yeah.
motor. Um, but I'm sure you'd be able to tell.
The only
um,
thing I saw close to it was the vintage Bulova Accutron astronaut I had. That's that Accutron seconds hand is also very smooth,
yeah,
Mhm.
very similar.
there was. I have kind of an analogy to it. I don't know if you guys have had this effect on you, but I kind of called it the soap opera effect, where when I was growing up, I grew up in Sri Lanka, so we didn't have a lot of TV going on, um, and every once in a while you get a soap opera like Days of Our Lives or something going on in one of the channels, and it looked eerily smooth, and I didn't understand why, but I heard later it's because it had a higher frame rate. So those soap operas, they use some cheaper cameras or something that were less cinematic. So the movies have the 24 frames per second cameras that look really cinematic and really nice. But if you don't really understand the frame rate, it's almost a fake 60 frames per second, and it looks really um, really smooth, but very unrealistically smooth. So I can kind of get what Catlin means if some people think of Spring Drive in that way, like if they've grown up seeing the high beat or the regular beats and maybe even the low beats like the 18,000 vibrations per hour or the 21.6 beat rates. And then you kind of get to Spring Drive. It might look like a manufactured, like a fakeness to it. Not in the sense of it's a counterfeit watch, but um, something that is not genuine, like something that is odd, different. Um, I feel like now that we're seeing more like 60 frames per second videos, like Netflix is almost always 60 frames per second now, right? And Disney Plus and stuff like that. So we're exposed to 60 frames per second more, and it just looks natural. It looks crispy. It looks really nice when you get that 60 frame per second stream. And I guess we would be like the generation where we come in and we see the Spring Drive, and we kind of know it and expect it. While there might be some who have grown up with lower beat rate watches, and so to them it looks really fake and they can't handle it. Because there was a time where I couldn't handle 60 frames per second because it was too smooth. It just bugged me. So I don't know if that analogy is kind of off base, but yeah, now that we've come into the hobby with Spring Drive already existing, I feel like it's okay, it's nice, it's calming, it's smooth, but I can totally get why someone might think it's not so good. But do you guys have any thoughts about that?
I grew up watching Days of Our Lives too. Stefano, no wonder he seems so sinister.
Yeah.
60 frames.
Yeah. I don't know if it was actually 60 frames. Maybe it was like 48 frames. But,
Yeah.
yeah, it just looked awful.
It's kind of like watching some superhero movie or even Lord of the Rings. You're used to it on your 25 frames per second, and then when you watch it on 60 frames per second, it seems like a homemade video. At that point, it just seems like a homemade thing. So it doesn't feel like a cinematic experience. I think I understand the analogy there.
Yeah. But for everyone who's millennial-ish, maybe after millennials, I feel like I grew up in the 80s, even though I grew up in the noughties. I grew up in Sri Lanka, which is like 2 decades behind. So I feel like I'm an 80s kid or a 90s kid. But yeah. So to those who did grow up in the 2000s, the 1990s, 60 frames per second, maybe normal. And they love seeing Lord of the Rings in 60 frames per second, which I have no idea what that means. Was it The Hobbit or?
What did you call him? The wrinkly guy? Didn't you call him that once?
Yeah, shriveled man.
Shriveled guy. Yeah, shriveled man.
The shriveled man who loves a ring.
Yeah.
Okay, so Catlin also saying 005 has my attention big time, but I'm head stand with blue. Have a love-hate relationship with. I really want one.
Yeah, I said that last week. The reason it caught my attention was because I saw her Instagram. She had a video, a wrist shot of that watch. I'm like, whoa, that looks really good.
Yeah.
Would love to see it in person.
Yeah. Feel free to come on down.
Come on up, really.
I love the 9F too. I put this on, and again, I set it on Christmas Day, and it's still dead on. With time.gov. It's crazy. Just
yeah.
I traded away my Spring Drive, and I'll probably never say never, but this right now I have no intentions of ever getting rid of this watch. So could change.
Yeah.
But
we were kind of talking about that last week too with Keith, because Keith is struggling to get over the deadbeat seconds of quartz, And I mentioned, once you have some time with it, it does grow on you, but I shouldn't say that. You shouldn't buy the watch expecting it to grow on you. But yeah.
Well, for me, it's just a big question mark. I could love it and I could not, but I don't think I'll know until I own one for sure. So we will
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Justin caught my joke. Extinguished.
Yeah.
Clayton looking extinguished. Kevin saying the White Birch is far superior, in my opinion. Love the Snowflake, but the White Birch is next level GS. I have to agree as well.
Yeah, Chaz
Did you-
mentioned this in the chat, but him and I were discussing this recently. Is the price difference is
It's
is a
huge.
little tough,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and because the Snowflake is it's not half the price, but it's not too far off from half the price. Are you really getting twice as much, price of the watch for the White Birch? So it's a hard thing mentally to overcome when you can buy so many great Grand Seikos for less, especially the Snowflake, which is just classic Grand Seiko. So I'll be interested to see if you believe it's worth the price. I mean, it's definitely worth the price. Like, I don't think the price is over. I don't think it's overpriced or anything. It's just spending the money is, when there's others that are less. That's the hurdle to get
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, I hear you. I'd say it is worth the price bump, mainly because there's so much different going on with this movement. I'll hold it up again, but probably, oh, there we go. There's a lot going on with this movement here because it's got that balanced bridge, which Grand Seiko, to my knowledge, has not done, except in the past with vintage ones, but modern Grand Seiko hasn't done. And the finishing is just insane. On this guy. So, I mean, the cost of entry for this movement alone, I think, is worth it, and everything else. I mean, I'm not even a crazy movement guy. I can really appreciate that. At it just seems like a bargain. Even the finishing on this. I know it's probably like mostly, if not entirely, mechanically finished, but it's so well done, that I feel like the cost of entry to be able to see that and have that on your wrist is worth the price of entry, and then all this in the front is just gravy. But even this, I mean, it just looks fantastic. So I don't know, man. I would do it again. I've only had it
Looks
for 5
nice,
days.
that's for
but
sure. Hopefully, I'll get to see in person soon.
Yeah, it is quite a price bump, though. That's I do agree.
Did you see Jenny's video on the White Birch today?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it was
she
just
was
released this morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Cool. I'm not sure if we missed a previous comment, Catlin, or if
I
one
saw
of
it. It's close to Birch.
Yeah.
A previous comment.
I actually can't see it here, so maybe
okay.
maybe there was like a filter that caught it and took it out of my view, because
That could be.
yeah,
That's
because
funny.
that does happen. StreamYard's a little aggressive. No, that's actually not what I meant. I while I was saying it, I could hear myself while I was saying it, but that's not what I meant.
For the record, I know at least me and Clayton are older than her, so.
Yeah. How old are you, Keith?
I'm 37.
Oh, okay. We're the old guys.
Yeah. No. You're only as old as you feel, I guess.
My beard is getting more gray by the day, so I'll be at the Clayton level gray soon enough.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll
good.
dye it for the next stream. See if you guys notice. A little just for men action right before.
like a burgundy color.
I
Yeah,
think you should just shave it.
yeah. I don't know. I like it too much.
Good to see
Once
you,
I
Mark.
start growing it, yeah, it's good.
MD Chat says, I do wish Spring Drive had a mechanical sound. Yeah, I don't mind not having a sound, but I could see it being missing, like something you would miss. Bruno talking about the soap operas. We're way into the weeds here.
It was definitely a spring bar level type discussion. It got to that point.
Yeah, it was.
New
I still,
podcast idea, Sanjay.
yeah,
Watches and soaps.
watches and soaps.
I will say, if you've ever been to someone's house where they have the motion smoothing on their TV, it drives me bananas.
Yeah,
And I want to change it, but I never say anything ever.
so you get it too.
Oh yeah, I get it. Yeah.
The SLGA 007 is beautiful. I haven't seen it in person, but hope to at some point. Have you guys seen that one? Should I pull it up?
I'm trying to think. That's the blue dial with it's kind of the wavy pattern.
Yeah. It's the
Yeah.
same case as the White Birch.
Gold second sand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's a dark blue.
It's
Mm.
it's so nice. The gold accent on the logo. Oh man, so good.
Looks like you could just jump into the water. It's like a pool.
Yeah. Would you
Is
look
that
at that?
limited edition?
Is this one boutique
Yeah.
only?
No, it's not.
Yeah. This,
And it's not
okay.
limited.
It says
is
limited
really
edition.
dial.
Watch on it.
Is it?
2021 pieces. Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Oh.
Oh, that's sad. But it's beautiful. So I don't think I'll go with that. We're kind of chatting about that, and I was gonna say if I were to go with that, I'd have to sell my SBGY 003, which I really don't want to do.
Is that one more expensive than the White Birch?
No, it's cheaper.
Oh, it's cheaper.
Yeah, by like 500 Canadian. So it's 11,300, I think.
Huh. All right.
Yeah. Generally speaking, the spring drive versions of an equivalent watch is slightly cheaper than the high beat version. So, like historically and very generally speaking. Chaz, in finishing on a high beat movement in the White Birch is where the price difference went. Yeah. There was a lot of R&D too with the dual impulse movement or dual impulse escapement. So I'd say some of the money went there. It's so cool. Like the way that that escapement looks. I gotta get some macro video footage of that and I'm sure it's there on YouTube already. So if you guys look that up, it's
You're gonna have to capture it in 60 frames per second.
yeah, with motion smoothing. Catlin saying it's gorgeous, but I'm not a fan of the gold. Doesn't match my opinion. I feel like it does. Doesn't it feel like the sun bouncing off the water slightly in one spot? Yeah. No.
I think it looks nice.
I think it works.
Yeah.
It
Not.
works.
Yeah. It's all opinion though. So 5D spring drive movement is nothing to look at though. Yeah, it's vanilla, let's say. It's good. It looks good. Just not jaw dropping, brain exploding. Good. Is anyone planning to attend Wind Up next month?
No,
I'll probably be
it's
stuck
in
in Canada.
yeah, it's in New York.
Yeah.
I've said this before, but I was really excited to go to Chicago in 2020 because Wind Up was going to be there. I think Kat and Catlin were planning to be at the Chicago one, I think, but I'm looking forward to hopefully next year going to Wind Up in Chicago.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
I'd
not
like
too
to go
far
too.
away. I'm a few hours from New York City. I'll think about it.
Yeah. We know Sam is probably not. Sam, you gonna take a flight over?
No, sir.
Yeah. Toran and I will be. We're the banished Canadians who are not allowed to enter the U.S. still. So, well, actually, if we take a flight,
We can fly over.
yeah, we
but
can fly. Probably won't.
Well, is it harder to get into Canada from the U.S. or in the U.S. from Canada right now?
It's hard to get into the U.S. from Canada. So
Oh, okay.
the U.S. citizens fully vaccinated have a free pass through the border, but we are still not allowed to over there. With great difficulty, we can get there. But,
Okay.
Mhm.
like digging tunnels, jumping over, swimming through the lake, the Great Lake. All right, guys. Well, I think it's a good spot to wind up. We didn't get to much satisfying things, but I feel like we had a good banter, good chat about everything and
Soap
nothing.
operas.
Soap operas in 60 frames per second, and Spring Drive, and it happens. But do you guys have anything going on this week? Keith, do you have anything to plug?
Watch Soup tomorrow.
Yeah, Keith is on Watch Soup tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll be there
Yeah, and Torin too.
That's nice.
So
on the
we'll be
Engineer
here.
Wannabe channel. Yeah.
Yes, right here we'll be talking about Watch Gringa, Keith's pick, and Josh from the Town Watch. He had a really interesting video where he got a Cartier Santos.
Oh yeah, very cool. That's cool.
Yeah, very exciting. Very like it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. So really excited for him. And we're going to talk about Federico's video on shady things that watch dealers do to make a bit of extra cash. So that'll be fun to chat about.
8 Central, 9
8
Eastern.
Central,
But
9
8
Eastern.
Central will be there.
Yeah, sounds good. Clayton, what's next on your Watchdog podcast?
So Monday morning's episode will be a state of the collection titled "If My Watches Could Talk." I will interview my watches, my mechanical and automatic watches, about how they feel about their place in my collection. Are they happy with the amount they're being worn? Are they not happy? If you want to witness a man's true descent into madness, tune in.
Yeah, that sounds great. We'll be there.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
How
also
about you?
talking about a very interesting documentary, Dark Side of the 90s. They did an episode about the collecting culture around Beanie Babies in the 90s. So I kind of go
Okay.
over that too, because I saw a lot of parallels between that and watch collecting actually. So kind of cool.
Yeah. I actually caught your episode on the B horror movies from last year.
Oh,
Watches and B grade horror movies.
oh,
That
I'm
was
already checking them
hilarious.
out now for the second annual. So
Yeah, it made me want to watch those movies. Like who comes up with these these movies? That's great. The robot one caught my attention. So.
oh, that one is the best. You have to watch that. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Catching on the 80s robot craze of Short Circuit and Rocky 4. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good stuff. Torin, how about you? What's coming up for you?
Well, aside from being on Watch Soup tomorrow, yesterday I just put out a quick unboxing of the Superman. So if you want to check that out on my YouTube, that'd be cool. And I'll try and also get a review of my Doxa 750T out later this week on my YouTube channel. So.
Cool. Looking forward to that. Definitely.
Thanks.
Yeah. I've never seen a 750T, so I'm really interested.
Yeah, I kind of bought it blind, not really wearing any of the Doxos, but really happy to have it in the collection.
Yeah. How about you, Sam? Anything new coming up?
Nothing from me. Yeah.
Any watches on the horizon? I know you were looking at Marine Master 300, right?
Yeah, I kind of controlled myself.
Yeah.
I recently watched Apocalypse Now, and I got very hyped over the Captain Willard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna control myself and see if I can get something special down the line.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good to see you,
Awesome.
Sam. It's
Yeah.
I've missed you. So, um,
Yeah. Thanks.
but yeah, guys, it was so good to see you all in the chat as well. I just want to say you guys are all really near and dear to my heart. I'm really grateful for all of you. So, um, I'll see you guys tomorrow on Watch Soup. Have a great night, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
So
Bye.